Hi everyone and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to continue learning how to talk about the weather in English. As always, we will first listen to the model dialogue and afterwards we will explain all the expressions in detail. How's the weather in London? It's been raining heavily for a few days. How's Sydney? It's boiling and very humid. Now, the question to ask about the weather is the same as the previous lesson, so we'll focus more on the sentences that describe the weather. First, to describe the weather in London, we heard this sentence. It's been raining heavily for a few days. It's been raining heavily for a few days. In the previous lesson, we focused on using adjectives to describe the weather. However, in this sentence, we use the verb to rain in the present perfect continuous tense to talk about the action of rain happening. The main use of the present perfect continuous tense is to talk about an action that began in the past, which has continued to the present. And this action may also continue into the future. And we can use the preposition for to describe for how long it's been raining. Finally, the adverb heavily helps to describe how much rain has fallen, and heavily means it has rained a lot. Generally, we tend to use verbs to describe the weather when we are talking about the rain or the snow. Let's take a look at a few other example sentences. It's been raining a little for a few days. It's been snowing heavily for a few days. It's been pouring for a few days. The verb to pour describes heavy rain, so it cannot be used with adverbs like heavily or a little, as the verb to pour already contains the meaning heavily. Let's now do a speaking practice of these sentences. It's been raining heavily for a few days. It's been raining a little for a few days. It's been snowing heavily for a few days. It's been pouring for a few days. Great job, well done. Next, we use adjectives ending in ing to describe the weather. It's boiling and very humid. It's boiling and very humid. In this sentence, the word boiling is an adjective that ends in ing, and we use it to talk about extremely hot weather. The verb to boil means to heat water so that bubbles form, and we can use its ing form as an adjective to describe extremely hot weather. Another useful adjective is humid, and we use humid to describe hot and wet weather, which can be uncomfortable. In humid weather, people tend to sweat a lot due to the extreme heat and wetness in the air. Here are a few more example sentences. It's freezing and very icy. It's baking and a little muggy. It's scorching and very bright. The word freeze describes water turning ice, so freezing describes very cold weather. The word bake describes making bread and cakes by putting things in a hot oven, so baking describes very hot weather. The word scorch means to burn something slightly, so again we use scorching to describe very hot weather. Now, as well as these adjectives ending in ing, we also have this adjective muggy. And muggy also describes extremely hot weather with lots of water in the air. So it's similar in meaning to humid. And we often use the adjective icy to describe cold weather or to describe roads being covered in ice. Lastly, we can use bright to refer to clear skies with lots of sunshine. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's now do a speaking practice of these sentences. It's boiling and very humid. It's freezing and very icy. It's baking and a little muggy. It's scorching and very bright. Fantastic job, well done. Let's listen to the whole dialogue again. How's the weather in London? It's been raining heavily for a few days. How's Sydney? It's boiling and very humid. Okay, so let's now do a speaking practice of this dialogue. As always, we will do 2 speaking practices and all the lines will be on the screen. So when it's your turn, please read the line and participate in the dialogue. Let's begin the practice. How's the weather in London? It's boiling and very humid. It's been raining heavily for a few days. How's Sydney? Fantastic effort today, well done. Okay, so in this lesson, we learn how to use verbs to describe snowy and rainy weather and adjectives ending in ing to describe hot and cold weather. The next lesson is the speaking drill lesson, and I will see you soon again in the lesson after that. Bye-bye.